This is impossible. How are we supposed to manage this?
I don't know what to do anymore.
Debt enriches the rich and hurts the poor. Most people understand that debt is natural. People borrow money to buy a property, company, or college, or for other expenses. Sometimes debt is necessary or useful. Different people manage debt differently. Rich people can use loans to make more money and advance faster. However, debt makes low-income people unpleasant, worried, and poor for a long period. Today we'll discuss how debt affects different social strata, why the issue matters for economic inequality, and how better financial education and equitable chances might make society more fair. Rich individuals take money to invest, not live. Debt aids them. They borrow money to buy goods that will make them money and appreciate in value, not for their daily expenses. This is one of the key reasons wealthy people keep getting richer. Rich folks know they can make more with money. They borrow money from banks and invest it in bonds, equities, or real estate. These investments usually yield more than the borrowing. Rich people can become richer by seizing others' money. An investor may borrow heavily from a bank to buy an apartment building. Monthly rent from apartment residents pays off the mortgage. The investor also earns from the residents. Over time, this building may appreciate in value, resulting in increased profits. Debt is advantageous in this scenario since it helps the owner buy something without paying for it all at once. Business is similar. Successful entrepreneurs often take out loans to expand, create new sites, buy tools, or hire people. If the company grows, its profits will exceed its borrowing interest. Global businesses borrow money to expand and enter new markets. The study shows debt can help people flourish, not hurt them. The same goes for stocks and investment. Rich people borrow to invest in stocks, funds, and other financial markets. Your purchases can appreciate and make you a lot of money. Rich people are financially savvy, have excellent counsel, and have market data to make informed decisions. That distinguishes them from other customers. Rich people generally borrow to buy profitable items. Because they owe, they benefit. Time circles with this plan. When you make a lot of money investing, it's easier to borrow more to invest. So rich individuals often get richer by borrowing more. They use it wisely and plan ahead. They employ loans for expansion, power, and economic success, not debt. Poor people borrow money to survive, not to invest or grow rich. Rich people borrow money to buy stocks, businesses, or real estate that will make them money. Poor families borrow money to buy food, housing, medical care, and power, send their kids to school, and get to work. These are life-sustaining charges. They generate no revenue. Therefore, debt is a burden, not a way to wealth. Poor folks are nearing financial ruin. Illness, unemployment, and rising prices. Minor problems can hurt. They usually borrow since they have no savings. A dad can borrow money for his child's hospital fees. Workers can only borrow money for food until their next paycheck. These are excellent options, but borrowing money doesn't create new opportunities or make you more money. It's like applying a bandage to an urgent wound. Paying it back is the issue. The borrower must repay with interest. Their finances may not improve. Due to debt, their compensation stays the same, but their costs rise. This makes paying bills difficult, and they often borrow again. Poor households must take out new loans to repay old ones. Debt makes people poorer, not better. Another issue is that impoverished individuals pay higher interest rates than wealthier people when borrowing money. Banks consider them dangerous customers because their income is inconsistent or they have no assets. Such circumstances may make formal loans with good terms difficult. Due to these factors, many turn to payday lenders, unlicensed moneylenders, or high-interest credit programs. These loans can be helpful at first, but the interest can pile up quickly, making repayment difficult. A minor bill might become a financial burden. Assets, investments, insurance, and financial counsel help rich people recover. Poor debtors usually lack these protections. Failure to pay might result in fines, lower credit scores, or loss of desired items. They're more at risk with debt. The issue is that living expenses don't generate income. Food and rent keep a family alive, but they don't produce wealth. Debt keeps rising while the economy stagnates. Thus, debt can impoverish the poor. A vicious cycle of adversity that is difficult to break is not a path to succeed. Debt helps the rich more than the poor because they obtain better loan terms. Rich people usually borrow with low interest and flexible payment schedules. Businessmen can obtain low-interest loans to build their businesses or buy commercial property. If the company succeeds and grows, its profits may exceed its interest payments. Since borrowing money is inexpensive, traders pocket most of the profit. Thus, the wealthy can grow their fortune over time. Those who can't borrow money have different circumstances. A competent business person can borrow money at 5% interest. Short-term loans may cost 20% or 30% extra if you make little money. People with little additional money pay the most for loans. Poor people struggle to repay hazardous debts. Borrowing money is more likely to cause long-term financial problems than improve lives. Financial education is understanding money and making sensible spending, saving, trading, borrowing, and budgeting decisions. This information is crucial since many people make poor financial decisions that lead to poverty. Poor families often don't learn about money. Parents with money issues may not understand banks, interest rates, equities, or credit management. Because of this, many kids don't realize the difference between sensible and stupid purchasing. Many schools don't educate youngsters how to save, borrow, or understand interest. Without this understanding, people are more likely to make incorrect financial decisions and to be exploited. Many people borrow money without considering the consequences. Money is unknown to them. Without charging too much interest, they can borrow and spend more than they have. It seems like a quick way out, but interest and penalties increase debt over time. Knowledge of money affects how people view it. Rich people learn to save, spend, and buy things that will make them money early on. Making money in business, land, and investing is taught. Debt isn't always awful. Indeed, debt has historically driven economic, corporate, and social growth. Money inequality is the issue. Because wealthy people have many assets, a consistent income, and strong credit, banks are more willing to lend to them. They can receive large loans with cheap interest rates and invest in profitable stocks, enterprises, or real estate. Their beneficial debt generates more income than they owe. These benefits aren't available to most poor people. Ads, credit cards, and easy loans encourage spending today. Many people borrow money without considering the long-term consequences to buy expensive items, keep up with peers, or satisfy short-term needs. It puts them in unnecessary debt and makes their finances insecure. They borrow money and spend it on things that depreciate instead of things that will benefit their finances. They can't repay loans. Thus, debt is not the issue. If everyone has equal opportunities, simple financing, and financial education, debt may help people and the economy flourish. We appreciate your view. Remember to like, share, and follow.